Hey guys, Dom here, back again with another Arkane Studios video. Now it's fair to say that this talented studio is one of the biggest fan favorite developers in the entire industry, where their approach to level design and player choice is comparable to some of the biggest names in game development, such as their big brother studio over at Bethesda Game Studios and other giant studios like CD Projekt Red or Obsidian, where their worlds are rich with player choice littered throughout every decision you make. A world in which going from point A to B can be presented to the player in a plethora of ways, leaving no one way to complete their games or levels. And it's this also complemented by the phenomenal art style that truly makes Arkane Studios one of the most talented and iconic studios in the industry. Their approach to game design is so unique, and the attention to detail within their worlds are truly unlike any other, in where they are somehow magical, mysterious and gamified, but also have a sobering punch of reality and realism. For example, with Dishonored's Dunwall City being designed around the Victorian era of our capital, London. Also, funny enough, my home city of Bristol, as Bristol or Gristol in the game both are historically known for being huge export cities. Dishonored also relies heavily on the story of the bubonic plague, in where a quarter of London's population in the 1600s were killed due to a bacterial plague which spread like wildfire by the city's monumental infestation of rats. And it was the same for Dishonored 2, in where the game's backdrop and history was largely referencing other European countries like Italy and Spain. And so with all of these things colliding together, there is no mistaking the fact that you are playing an Arkane Studios game. It has a very unique feel and flow to their games. And so with any new projects Arkane Studios go on to announce, Arkane are always met with fan excitement and more so mystery and intrigue. And this was no exception when it came to announcing Arkane Studios' next upcoming title, Deathloop. First announced at last year's otherwise mundane E3 showcase, it was clear that Arkane Studios' latest announcement stole the show, and in some ways the entire event. So much so that nearly a year later, closing in on the following months leading up to Bethesda's 2020 showcase, that people are still discussing what this game could actually be, as we only really have the trailer to go off at this point. We only know the characters' names, the setting, but apart from this, we don't know a whole lot about this mysterious title, or even when we'll be getting to see any more of this mysterious game. Well, that was until a few short days ago when Pete Hines was invited onto the Kind of Funny We Have Cool Friends podcast, in where he spoke on many things regarding the state of Tango Gameworks Ghostwire Tokyo, Fallout 76 and much more. But the main takeaway I took away from this interview happened when the topic was shifted towards Arkane Studios and of course their brand new game, Deathloop. Now while speaking on Deathloop, Pete Hines reveals that Bethesda have plans to show in quotes a lot more of this mysterious title in the next coming months, and even a little bit before that. He also states that fans will be pleased in regards to things coming from Arkane Studios at E3.
You guys obviously come out, you do this press conference every year. Deathloop, come on now. What a trailer that was. You know
did you like it?
I loved that trailer.
Good.
Yeah, Dave Fennoy in it too. I know you probably can't confirm it, but I know Dave Fennoy's voice better than anybody. He's in there doing it.
Yeah.
When do we have to wait till E3? Is that going to be the time to hear more about that, or any exciting properties you have to talk about?
It's a safe bet you'll hear a lot more
about
it at E3. Whether or not there might be a little something before now and then. Yeah, who's to say? But yeah. I think you're going to be pleased. I think you kind of dig the Arkane stuff. Like they're sort of like, and they're doing some really cool stuff with that, where it feels pretty familiar, but then also like, hey, they're trying to sort of do some things different.
So of course what I took away from this is that Bethesda are clearly preparing for an in-depth presentation into Deathloop as a part of their confirmed E3 showcase in June. Now this isn't uncommon for Bethesda to host these big in-depth looks into Arkane Studios projects, pretty similar to what Bethesda Game Studios do with their big showcases they do every 3 years or so. As for example, example, back in 2016 when Arkane Studios' Dishonored 2 was first revealed at their E3 showcase, Harvey Smith, leading director over at Arkane's Austin office, took to the stage for 20 minutes, showing us a plethora of gameplay, new mechanics, introducing us to the world of Sarkonos, its lore, brand new powers, and a cast of interesting characters, all tied up nice and neatly with a final release date for the game. So this is exactly what I believe is going to happen at this year's E3 showcase. Not only this, but it seems that we may be getting another announcement trailer coming before this year's showcase as well, as Pete Hines does hint towards something being shown right before this big in-depth look.
Do we have to wait till E3? Is that going to be the time to hear more about that, or any exciting properties you have to talk about?
It's a safe bet you'll hear a lot more about it at E3, whether or not there might be a little something before now and then.
Now, it's not only Pete Hines that is hinting towards Deathloop's reveal coming rather soon, but also studio director over at Arkane Studios Lyon, France, Dinga Bakaba, also told us in a recent podcast a few weeks ago that the game is ready to be revealed, in his words, very soon.
I know plenty of people are asking about Deathloop, and I'm not going to drill you with any crazy questions at all. I promise I won't.
Okay, thank you for that. No, I mean, I understand. We're really, super proud about the excitement around the game. Mm-hmm. We will, future tense, love to talk about it much more pretty soon, but it's not that time yet.
Of course, and we have to respect that. We totally understand that.
Also lending itself to the likelihood of this big in-depth look at this year's E3 showcase. So again, it seems with the hints provided to us from both Pete Hines and Dinga Bakaba over at Lyon, France, it seems we may not have to wait too long for the full reveal surrounding this mysterious, fantastical single-player epic from the amazing Arkane Studios. And so with that, I'd expect another trailer or something to drop in around a month or so, just before E3. Although what this means for Bethesda game studios at this year's E3 showcase, we'll have to wait and see, seeing as again Arkane Studios could be taking that 20-minute spotlight from this year's showcase, but we can always hold out hope to see at least something from Todd's next sci-fi epic adventure, Starfield. I mean, that would literally make my E3 showcase. Both Starfield and Deathloop, I mean, come on, sign me up. But what do you guys think? Are you excited to find out more on Deathloop? What kind of game do you think it's going to be? Let me know in the comments down below. Best ones get featured in the credits of these videos. And if you liked this video, hit VATS on that like and subscribe button. And until next time, please stand by.